Hello. Good morning. I'm Connecticut State Representative Tony Scott. I currently represent the 112th district, which covers all of Monroe and a portion of Newtown. I want to thank Chairman Haskell and Lamar, along with Ranking Members Somers and Carney, and the entire Transportation Committee for allowing me to speak today. I am here today to voice my support for HB 5366, an act concerning the revisions to the motor vehicle statutes, and specifically one portion of that bill around bioptics. That section of the bill is on page 11, starting on line 344. A short while ago, a constituent of mine, Sandra Gabriel-Busa, reached out to me letting me know of a condition her son Max has that will be preventing him from being able to attempt to get his driver's license. See, Max was diagnosed with juvenile macular degeneration at the age of 10. He is now a freshman in high school, and like all kids his age, are excited about the next big step, which is to be able to drive. Well, currently, in the state of Connecticut, that would not be possible for Max. While he does have low vision, Max is well adjusted and his vision loss has plateaued. In fact, Max is even on the high school wrestling team and very active in scouts. I asked you to Google bioptics to better understand these vision enhancement lenses. I am no expert, but in just doing a little research, you can see how these are extremely helpful and how safe they are for drivers. Over 30 states, including New York, Massachusetts, and Pennsylvania, allow for the use of bioptic lenses to get a driver's license and in driving. I ask you to add Connecticut to that list. Getting his driver's license would be a major step towards Max gaining his independence and becoming just another teenager. And keep in mind, there are many Maxes out there that will also have this benefit. Very likely someone in your district who might have just lost hope or doesn't know the power of their voice and reaching out to the representative to help make their lives better. You're going to be lucky enough to talk to Max and his mother, Sandra, a little bit later. I ask you to listen to their story, see how important and life-changing this can be. This is why we do what we do, to make a real difference to the lives of our constituents. And today, we can take a step forward for Max and others like him to gain their independence. Thank you for allowing me to testify today.
And thank you, Representative Scott, for bringing this issue to our attention, for introducing the concept to the committee. Representative Carney made it clear during our screening process that this was important to him and to you, and we're glad to have your testimony here today to help highlight the issue, bring greater understanding to the challenges that your constituent and many constituents of ours have. So thank you again.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you allowing me here today.
Allow me to thank the committee and the chairman, Lamar and Haskell, for their time today, and certainly for Rep. Tony Scott for his support. My name is Sandra. My son is Maxton Musa, and I am here in support of Bill number 5366, specifically legalizing bioptic driving, and in particular, the use of bioptic glasses during the vision assessment when obtaining a driver's license. My interest stems from my son Max, who has Stargardt's. It is a form of macular degeneration, a disease which impacts central vision but leaves the peripheral vision intact. When we were first given Max's diagnosis, it was definitely traumatizing, and I was haunted by what I thought he had lost and all of the challenges and the difficulties that he would face. I worried about him getting through school, and I couldn't fathom how he would ever sufficiently support himself, let alone a family. You know, how is he going to navigate and maneuver in his world when getting to the grocery store was going to have to be a planned event to be executed? I was terrified, and thank God I was absolutely wrong. All of those fears were unnecessary. This is not Max's future. When we finally met with that retina specialist, we learned that yes, Max has Stargardt's, but his condition had very likely plateaued. Any future loss would be slow and incremental. He wasn't going to get to be the cop that he wanted to be, but he was going to have a pretty normal life with the use of adaptive technology. And you can't imagine what that felt like, the realization that he was going to be okay. He would get through school, he would get a job, and he would drive to that job to support himself. He would be an equal partner raising his family. He would go to the grocery store for me when I needed him to. All of those things. Come to find out, just not in Connecticut. I learned that Connecticut is one of only a few states that does not allow for driving with bioptics. And all of those things that I feared once again became obstacles. So Max's plan is to commute to college or a trade school, but how does he get to class? He wants a job, but how does he get there? He becomes limited to where he could feasibly live and work, raising a family. You think about the number of times you've had to negotiate with your partner, who's going to pick up who, when, and where, and which kid at this play date or this sporting event. All of those things are, again, obstacles, and they don't need to be, because approving bioptic lenses would provide Max the path that he needs to obtain a driver's license. We feel that bioptic glasses should be given the same consideration as other adaptive measures that are made available to those with disabilities, including being allowed to, including their use during a vision assessment at the time of licensing. Bioptic glasses are an accommodation no different than common prescription glasses, or something like the spinner knobs as a control on a steering wheel, or the ability to accelerate or brake using a hand control. It is imperative that those with macular degeneration and other low vision diseases are provided the tools and the opportunities to hold on to their independence for as long as it is safe to do so, and restore the independence to those who may have already lost it. You know, Max wants to drive for all of the reason every teenager wants to drive, but I know that what is at stake is far higher than he actually realizes. He is considered a textbook candidate for bioptic driving, and he and others impacted with macular degeneration should be afforded every opportunity and privilege that they are capable of taking advantage of. And I thank you all for your consideration and your time today.
Next up is Maxton Busa. I apologize if I mispronounced your name.
That's correct.
It was correct.
Wonderful. The floor is yours.
All right. Hi, my name is Maxton Musa. I'd like to thank everyone today for their time and allowing me the opportunity to speak. My goal is to legalize bioptic driving in the state of Connecticut. Driving is a really important part of life for most people, whether it's driving to work or a friend's house, going to the store, or being able to respond to an urgent situation such as an emergency room visit. I want to be able to get a job and commute to college, and will need consistent, reliable transportation. I live in the town of Monroe, where public transportation is limited and isn't always the most efficient way to travel. Getting to a public bus stop is a challenge when it is several miles away. Uber is not a cost-effective alternative, even if it is readily available at all times. Friends are also not a reliable source either. Being able to drive will allow me to live the way I want to, with the same freedom and independence as someone with full vision. I don't want to be seen as someone with a disability when I'm perfectly capable to drive. Bioptic glasses will compensate for my vision loss. The thought of everyone getting cars for their 16th birthdays and going to get their license makes me tear up, because I really want that freedom and privilege. I'm afraid of getting made fun of for not being able to drive. Seeing all of my friends drive to school and me having to be stuck on the bus is very frustrating. I don't want my mom to have to drive me everywhere while my friends get to go wherever, whenever. It will be humiliating to have to rely on my mom to bring me where I need to be, whether it's a friend's house or even worse, a date. Overall, I just want to live with freedom and have the independence to drive, and the ability to do it safely with bioptics. There should be no limitations to what I can do, not when there is a safe way to obtain independence. Thank you for your chance.
Maxton, thank you so much for your testimony and for sharing your story with us. We can't tell you how much we appreciate your very personal words. And I also just want to say that Representative Tony Scott from Monroe has been a wonderful advocate on this issue and in bringing it to our attention as a committee.